Now we're cooking. I'm Jonathan Coachman. You're tuned in to the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, running back Dalvin Cook. He's back and coming off a big game a weekend ago, as it'll be the Minnesota Vikings taking on the Los Angeles Chargers. I'll join you again at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football. And on the call, as always, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, thanks. We're about 12 miles south of the future home of the Chargers at the current home of the Chargers, and that's Dignity Health Sports Park in Carson. Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Minnesota Vikings and our home team. From up top, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles Davis, as always, with me as well. And CD, defenses better be on their toes in this one because we got two quarterbacks who love to throw the football, and they throw it very well.
Over 4,000 yards each in the previous season. So what you're saying is, if you're a defender, hope you're prepared properly. Hydrated, stretched, be on your toes, as you said, because the ball's coming your way.
It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Vikings with Kirk Cousins leading the way. Cousins surprisingly efficient in his first season as a member of the Vikings. He hit on better than 70% of his passes, second only to Drew Brees, and was actually just the 6th ever NFL quarterback to finish a season above that 70% mark.
I'm here all day. Tighten up, tighten up, tighten up.
Here's Dalvin Cook, third year back from Florida State. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. Let's take a look here at the offense for Minnesota.
And running back Dalvin Cook was drafted in 2017 to be the lead runner for the Vikings, and he should love what they're putting in for him in 2019. This is a run-first, run-heavy offense as dictated by their head coach. Dalvin Cook should get more than enough carries to threaten 1,000 yards rushing this season.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. Here are the starters defensively for the Chargers. They were very good in the win last week against Jacksonville.
And the big thing for them was the interceptions. And you hear teams all the time talk about establishing themselves against the pass, no-fly zones and things of that nature. This group had a bunch of them in last week's game.
This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6. From the gun, here's Cousins. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Great blocking, nearly sprung in there. 28-yard return. And the Chargers will be set up pretty well as they take over in great field position. So excellent starting field position here for the Chargers. They'll be led out by their veteran quarterback out of North Carolina State. It's Phillip Rivers.
Just 3 weeks of games left in the NFL regular season. What's it going to take for him to win the MVP? What's it going to take?
Whatever it is, if he wants to strengthen that candidacy, no time like the present.
Yeah, and let me tell you what I think. Not only does he have to play the clean game, no picks, things of that nature, he has to have at least one significant play that we'll talk about all next week. That'll really give him a higher profile.
Ben Gideon in on the stop. With that, let's check out how the Chargers line up on offense.
I have to admit, I've rather enjoyed watching Melvin Gordon's improvement as he's developed as an NFL player because it started for me in college. Every year he was in school, he would add something extra to his game. First year, he knew how to run. He wanted to add pass receiving to his game. The next year, he wanted to add pass protection to his game. Did all of that. That turned him into a first-rounder, and now a front-line NFL back.
Here now the starters defensively for the Vikings. They were terrific a week ago in the win over the Lions.
Yeah, they gave up 17 points, but that's about what you consider the break-even mark. If you give up 17 points a game all year long, you're thinking you're going to be a playoff team. That's what you're looking for. Room to improve, of course, but pretty nice effort.
Rivers from the gun on third down. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. Well, certainly not how he wanted to start his night. First throw of the game, an INT.
Yeah, it's not easy, but he's got to try and wipe that one away from the memory banks. And let's face it, it's not often a quarterback and a defensive back have a lot in common. But one thing, because they have these individual type plays, they've got to have short memories, don't they? DB get
under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Cousins gives way to Cook. And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. Third and long for Cousins. Going deep for Diggs. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Nasir Adderley, the rookie from Delaware. And he's just across midfield and down at the 49-yard line. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Rivers now from the 50. Hunter Henry brings it in. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Charger first. Well, last year, Henry really looked poised for a prime breakout season, but then May 22nd, tore his ACL during OTAs, ruled out for the year. Actually was added to the active roster in a pretty heroic return for their playoff clash with New England, but did not play. 29 career games for Henry, 12 touchdowns, and now with Antonio Gates' career coming to a close. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 22, and they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
They start the drive with Cook, and he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Now on 2nd and 13, Cousins, and Rudolph has it, the tight end. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. Phillip Rivers and his Chargers about ready to take over again. Bottom line, he's got to figure things out. He's completed 3 passes, but 2 of them have been to the wrong team so far.
And when we talk about the best quarterbacks, we're usually talking about touchdown to interception ratio, aren't we? And 2 to 1 is acceptable, but the top line guys, 3 to 1 or better is what they're looking for. Now we're talking about interceptions versus completions. That's not a ratio should ever be in any discussion.
Here's Gordon. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd and 1 situation. Trying to power it ahead with Watt. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. Now Gordon on first down. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. Now that sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down. They'll try to throw here. Rivers. Allen's got it complete. That one good for 13 and a Charger first. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Shamar Stephen able to drop him for a loss of a couple. Now following the sack, they'll come up here on a 2nd down and 12. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And his throw is incomplete. Keenan Allen, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down. 7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Working out of the gun, Rivers. And he's got a man open. That's Allen. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. Now the 2nd-year kicker, Michael Badgley. He hit from 59 as a rookie. This will be from 56 yards out. And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Badgley now to kick this one away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. One more game still to get to in Week 15. It comes up tomorrow night, Monday Night Football. A lot of Manning fingerprints on this one, the Colts and the Saints from New Orleans. They'll start out here with a jet sweep, and that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Cook. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. They'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and they'll be facing a 3rd and 12. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Off the play fake, Cousins. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Now it appears we're going to get whistles and a stop. A man down on the return. We'll step aside and come back to Carson after this.
Victory 90!
The Charger drive about to get going as we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you.
That one, a first down pickup of 8. Gordon, a Pro Bowler for the second time last season, 885 yards, 10 touchdowns, and that was only in 12 games played a season ago. He also switched jersey numbers in the offseason from 28 to 25, and 25, that's the number he wore when he was dominating the Big Ten college gridiron for the Badgers of Wisconsin. Now a 10th carry for Melvin Gordon. Gordon loses the football. It's loose. And the Vikings pick up the football. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations, big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. He'll get about 4 as he's past the 35 to the 38-yard line.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
On second down now, it's Cook. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Now Cousins, and tight coverage there. It's knocked away, incomplete. Casey Hayward, the Pro Bowler, there to knock it away. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part to get them the football, but you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, and now zapped right back in the other direction. And the Vikings defense ready to head back out there now. And they have the 3 takeaways, but still losing despite the effort that we see on the screen.
And thank goodness for that effort, because without it, they're probably really getting routed at this point. Keeping them in the game as best they can, they've got to increase their proficiency in taking the ball away, because right now they're not getting enough help from the rest of the squad.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Anthony Barr got a real education at UCLA in playing not just his normal position of stand-up outside linebacker, but down defensive end. So he had to incorporate a variety of moves, take on bigger people. So he learned great leverage while he was there. That really helps him when he's trying to stop people running the ball.
Born in South Bend, Indiana. Thought about going back to go to Notre Dame, but you're right. Great career at UCLA and now a great career in the NFL. From the gun on third down. Rivers, open man is Gordon, complete. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks. Play fake to Gordon. Now Rivers. He completes it to Henry. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
The Chargers on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Rivers again. He'll get this one complete to Davis. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on third down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They run it here with Gordon. Give him 15 yards on that one and a Charger first down.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and turn his legs for a really nice pickup.
Allen, nifty footwork. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march off another 15 against your squad.
No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
On second down, it's Gordon. And not much to speak of there. Maybe a yard down to the 20.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. Second quarter, 2 minutes remain, 3-0 our score. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. Keenan Allen, the intended target, but it'll be second and goal. A line of scrimmage, once again the 5 as they get ready for second and goal.
Hey, tighten down. There you go.
To throw, Rivers to the goal line, but it's incomplete. He was trying to get that back to Allen, but now it's third and goal. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on third and goal? Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. Trey Waynes, the Michigan State man, right there in coverage.
Well, he leads the NFL in interceptions and nearly added to that total.
Got his hand on it, couldn't quite corral it. It's been a Pro Bowl-type season for him, and the term ball hawk really comes into play, doesn't it?
Yeah, I like that one a lot because teams want to avoid that type of a player, but sometimes you just can't. He just knows where the ball is.
The Chargers, a team that's really been plagued by poor field goal kicking the last decade or so, but I think they feel they've solved their problems with Badgley.
I would say so. He went 15 for 16 in 10 games last season, undrafted out of Miami. And remember, he had 5 field goals in the playoffs against the Baltimore Ravens.
And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far.
Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things. Throwing the ball a little bit. Maybe featuring other people touching it for a while, and then you get a chance to come back to it when things have changed a little bit. They have to make an adjustment.
Still time for him here as we sit in the second quarter. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. On first and 10, Cousins. He'll find his receiver. That's Chad Beebe. And he'll go out of bounds. It appears right at the 45. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up second down. To throw again on second down. Cousins. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one. And it's third down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. Now the Chargers will use the second of their timeouts as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. This is away and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines.
Let's go. Do it.
The Charger drive about to get going. They've shown very little offensively to this point. Well, neither team has, really. And they come up here now, first down. Gets it to Gordon. Give him 7 on the play, and that'll make it a second down. Off the play fake here, Rivers. He's going to look for Allen now on the deep ball. And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds. Allen, the intended receiver, and it's third and short. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. From the shotgun, it's Rivers. And it's complete. Henry. Well, they were in search of a short gain on third down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. From the left hash, this will be a 52-yard attempt. So we come upon halftime with 9. We now proceed to the start of the second half. So the Chargers will start the second half with the lead and the football as we're underway in the third quarter. Fielded about a yard deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Stephen Weatherly. Make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Complete. It's Henry. Knocks him over. Well, they'll get 15, but that won't be nearly enough. It's 4th down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. We'll call that a 49-yard punt with a return of just 2. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. Trying to fire up that running game with Dalvin Cook. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Again, it's Cook. And he works his way forward for a couple up past the 30.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Another drive comes and goes, still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
Now Benjamin. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And that will come the offense as they take over. They'll start the drive with a run by Gordon. And he roams across the 20 to the 24-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. The busy night continues for Gordon as he gets it here. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. It's a gain of 11 and a 1st down L.A.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Into the secondary again. And he'll take this down to the 40-yard line. 25 yards to pick up there, and also a 1st down.
Dance class, anyone? Did you see the steps between the quarterback and the running back?
That's what you need for a good counter.
You have to have it because you're setting up your blocking. There's a timing element as well, but they have to marry up their steps. Otherwise, that timing gets thrown out the window.
Timing was great there and a big run. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. It's Eckler again. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. 1st down Los Angeles there with a pickup of 14 yards. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Rivers going to turn and give this one to his running back, Gordon. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. On 2nd and 7, Rivers. Blitz coming, and down he goes. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year.
Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more.
And that's his second sack of the game, but this player, disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
So making 4 out of 4 now in the field goal department, and he's able to extend their lead.
When drives are bogged down, he's been an automatic out there. So nice to have a kicker you can count on to put points on the board.
This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
On 2nd and 9, Cousins. Josh Doxson's got it complete. 23 yards the pickup there. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. Cousins. This is screen to Abdullah. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. But just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a first down.
And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. 17 yards, first down, Vikings. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Back now at Dignity Health Sports Park in Carson. It's the Vikings in possession of the football, but they need some points. They're trailing here to start the 4th. First down, here's Cousins. And this one hauled in by Rudolph. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1. The Vikings on 3rd down. Just 1 conversion and 8 tries. Not good. This is 3rd and 4. They run it again with Cook. And he'll have the first down, getting this one to the 14-yard line.
There are a lot of different formulas to winning football, but one constant over the years, winning on 3rd down. That pickup there was big because they had struggled throughout this one.
Kirk Cousins last year started all 16 games, but only led the Vikes to just 1 fourth-quarter comeback like he's trying to do here. Now, here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now Cook, and it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They go play action. Rivers. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Now Rivers throw into the hands of Gordon. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a third down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
Cousins now. The throw complete to Beebe. And a gain of about 4 here moves this from the 6 up to the 10. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Throwing, Cousins. And Rudolph has it, the tight end. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. Cousins on 1st down. And complete, right side, the tight end Rudolph. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. And now a throw here secured by his running back out of the backfield.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
On 3rd down, Cousins. He gets this one into the hands of Dalvin Cook. And that's not nearly going to be enough. Stopped at the 22, and he needed plenty more. Did they maybe play that too safely on 3rd down? I know you don't want to just throw a ball blindly downfield, but that didn't help him a whole lot.
I think they probably said if it's open, take the shot. If not, get something safe because we do have 4th down to try and pick.
And that pass is going to be intercepted by the All-Pro DB Desmond King. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
Going deep here for Allen. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just 2nd down. Rivers incomplete on 1st down. Here's 2nd and 10. And he'll get 4 here down to the 35-yard line. The Chargers on 3rd down. They've converted 5 times in their many chances thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. From the gun, Rivers. Open man is Gordon, complete. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. Rivers now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Now Gordon. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. This is Gordon as they go to him again. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
So it's Charger football as we welcome you back from the 2-minute warning. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They'll try and run it. Here's Gordon. And he picks up the 1st down yardage as he takes this one down to the 15. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause of the action. A timeout here defensively. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Now Rivers going to give it off to Gordon. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. This will be the 8th play of the drive here. 3rd and 4.
3
Gordon. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up 4th down. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
They're going to run. This is Gordon. And he has the 1st down before he's tackled at the 5. That one a backbreaker as they wind up converting there on 4th. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal.
I don't know about you, partner, but watching them take the knee there and finish this one off, I feel like I'm going to be sore tomorrow. This was one bruising affair. Low scoring, but my kind of football.
Not a work of art, but maybe in your world, a little bit of a work of art. You like the defensive side.
I thought it was pretty. I can't help myself. I thought it was pretty.
And it ends in a kneel down as the clock rolls down to zeros. So plenty of smiles for the folks here as they head for the exits. It's a victory for their hometown guys, and they were really helped by their defense, forcing 3 turnovers.
I think what we saw in this one, today's defense. And what I mean by that is in the old days,